Hi everyone, back to the more YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day. I thought this one and a bit of a conflicting thought as well, to be honest with you. So it's all about Newcastle United's latest announcement that they're going to host two international friendlies at St James's Park for Saudi Arabia against Costa Rica and South Korea. So this has certainly divided opinion, not just in our fan base, but around the world, I suppose. And a reminder that unfortunately sometimes football and politics make strange bedfellows. Now, there's two different sides of this, and the reason that I'm conflicted is I sit in the middle. Really, I don't massively sit one way or the other on this. There's two viewpoints on this. There's some people who got no problem with it whatsoever. They don't give a rat's ass, really. Newcastle United is their club, and it's not their problem who their owners are and what they do with their own, country and everything else. And then there's other sides of it that, are happy that Newcastle United are doing well, but also very conscious that the human rights record in Saudi Arabia is poor. And you know what? It's okay to be on either side of that fence. It really is. Or you can sit in the middle like me and get a massive splinter up your arse. But I think the important thing is that you have to respect each other's difference of opinion. Now, I've already seen stuff on Twitter or X, or whatever the fuck it's called these days. Toxicity pouring out, people getting attacked for having an opinion or a strong opinion on this, opposed to it and think it's a bad idea. Now, what you need to remember here, it's very, very important to debate and not berate, is what we said in one of our tweets. If you have a difference of opinion to somebody else, that's fine. Try and talk about it. Talk about how why you feel the way you feel, and they can talk about why they feel the way they feel. And if you can't agree with it, do you know what? Part company and go your separate ways. But remember, when you're walking away, you're both wearing a black and white shirt and you support Newcastle United and you both want the club to do well. There's no reason to attack each other as a fan on social media or any other way, because one person feels one way or the other. This was always going to be the case when PIF owned 80% of our club. There's always going to be the situation. We were always going to be under the microscope globally and geopolitically. And it's just going to happen time and time again. The Manchester City fans have already been through this, ironically enough, for playing them this weekend. They've been through all this for years and years and years. And what generally happens with football clubs is the more successful you become, the less noise that becomes around this particular topic, which is wrong in many ways because it should never be put away. But, what's my opinion on this situation? Come off the fence, Chris, and pull the splinters out your arse. I personally don't think this is a good idea at this particular moment in time. I think that the nature of what's happening with the Saudi League poaching the biggest names in world football, and we've just seen Neymar go there recently, for ridiculous amounts of money. He's probably earned more money in the 2 minutes I've been talking than I'll probably see in 2 or 3 years of my career. He's got a 25-bed mansion and 9 servants and 20 cars. He's like Prince Hakeem from fucking Coming to America. It's grotesque in a world where people are struggling to put food on the table for their kids and to put their heating on in cold months. This guy's earning this ridiculous amount of money for kicking a piece of leather around. It is obscene, and the Saudi Arabian PIF are largely behind that. So that obviously causes controversy as well. This idea to host these fixtures will only bring negative press, I believe, to the club. In the media and the mainstream media, we all know the journalists that will ride in on their white steeds and their swords of virtue, swinging it for everybody in a black and white shirt, whether you agree or disagree with this, in the shape of Oliver Holt, Miguel Delaney. We'll go on international news and national news. We'll be on the BBC, we'll be on ITV, we'll be on Sky, everybody talking about it. It's not going to really help the football club, in my opinion. It'll help Saudi Arabia and the PIF, no doubt about that. They'll spread their kind of message and their brand across the world. And rightly so, they own 80% of this motherfucker, so they can do what they want in many ways, but you don't have to agree with it. And like I say, that's absolutely fine if you don't. That's fine. If you do agree with it, that's fine as well. Nobody's going to get attacked here, certainly not from my point of view. We all just need to calm the fuck down and not go after each other with this, because there's no need whatsoever. We're all Newcastle fans at the end of the day. But like I say, I just think the timing of this is off. I don't think it's a good idea by the club. I think it's a real feel-good factor on the club at the moment. We started the league really well. We're not taking the piss in the financial fair play stakes. Eddie Howe's a very bright, articulate, fantastic figurehead of the football club that I think oozes class. The Amazon documentary, the first episode has been worldwidely praised by the footballing world, and we haven't been attacked yet. There's nothing in there that's really drew anybody out, from a vitriolic point of view. So I think everything's good at the minute. So that's why I think the decision to play these fixtures now in September is a bad idea. I think they could have waited until the next international break or possibly even next season and avoided all of this. But the club have done what they've done. They've made the decision. They run it, not me. and that's what they're going to do. So whether you agree or disagree with it, it's happening regardless. Some fans will get behind it massively. So some fans will rock up in the Saudi Arabian headwear and everything else. That's not my game personally. I think that's a little bit OTT. But if that's you do you. That's fine. Some fans will maybe go check it out. I think it's a £5 ticket or something. They'll go rock up the Newcastle shirts and anything to see football at St James's Park, regardless of who's playing. And some fans will just run a mile and say, no, not for me. And other fans will say, no chance. Your human rights record is appalling. But one other thing that it will bring, no doubt about it, it'll encourage activist groups to protest in the city outside of the ground. It could disrupt the services for the public and everything else as well, and also again pull us into the limelight, the negative limelight by the mainstream media. And they'll talk about Saudi Arabia and sports washing and everything else. Now, ironically, they don't talk about the government's connections to Saudi Arabia, which we all know are there. I won't get into it too much because we're not a political podcast, but this is just the fickle nature of the news. They won't get into that. For whatever reason, but they will be all over Newcastle United and Saudi Arabia and sports washing and everything else will be thrown out there, including from hypocrites like Oliver Holt, who's happy to be wined and dined at the Anthony Joshua fight in Saudi Arabia and even write poetry about it. But then when it comes to Newcastle hosting Saudi Arabian games, will be straight on his white steed, giving us nothing but shit. And that's just what's going to happen, I think, off the back of these games being announced. It's a natural consequence. But as I say, wherever you sit in this argument, whether you're to the left or to the right or you're in the middle like me, your opinion is valid. Your opinion should be respected and should be allowed to be heard. You don't have to agree with it, but listen, let's not attack each other, right? Let's be better than that. Come on. That's my thought on this, guys. If this kind of thing that you like, please click that subscribe button. We'd love you to come and join us. Like the video too. Help the channel grow. We'll be back with some more thoughts and rants of the day. Hopefully not as dividing as this one. But I'll be back soon with some more Newcastle United crack along with Mark and the guys. Have a good day, everyone. We'll catch you later. Cheers. Bye.